Hello and welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure to smash a like as you're coming in. Thank you for the support of the streaming recently. It's been good. It's been good to see you guys supporting on streaming. Uh, on top of just supporting the general videos that I upload every day. We're gonna try and stream more often. Especially on these slow news days. It's very hard to stream, but it is what it is. We thank you for 350 subscribers. We're trying to hit 500 before the end of the year, as most of you know already. But yeah, we're just going to run through some of the West Ham news that's going around. And first of all, obviously at 8, I think it was at 8 a.m. or some shit. I think it was around 8 a.m. The new kit came out. Obviously, West Ham are very prone to their black kits. Usually we release a black kit or blue kit pretty much every year. Yeah, let's check out this black kit. Let me just share my screen. Give me a sec. But obviously, I mean, it's very short timing in terms of like compared to the gap between the home kit and the away kit. Big up Joey in the chat. Big up Joey as always. But obviously, black away kit and all that. So this is what it looks like. This is basically based on the East London heritage and all of that stuff on the Bow Bells. I still haven't watched the video announcement. The reason why I can't play this, obviously, is because of copyright. But yeah, Legend has it to be a true Cockney and all that stuff. You know, all the typical East London stuff. Is good that they do these kind of announcements. They actually put effort in for once, this media team, unlike, the old media team. But yeah, this is a black kit. Obviously, a bit like the home kit, the green badge obviously doesn't really suit the kit. However, in general, I do like the kit. I'm probably not going to buy it though. I do like the way the badge and the Umbro stuff does look on it. But yeah, it is a nice kit. Don't get me wrong, but I probably won't buy it unless I really want to, unless I really change my mind. But is part of the campaign. Launch a film which showcases the characters and stories of people, that places that make our community the more vibrant, authentic heart of London that it is. They care so much about the people that they don't care about concession prices. Celebrating the rich tapestry these communities create and collectively identity shared. The film features Hammers Men's first team stars as Kudus, Ward-Prowse, George Murphy, Alec Denson, and all the people that are on there already. But yeah, it's a very nice kit, of course. But we usually make nice black kits, and people seem to like the black kits quite often as well. I do think they're slightly overrated, but yeah, we seem to make similar black kits. I think this black kit as well will be kind of overrated. I think people just like it because it's a black kit. I think our fans seem to be quite obsessed with black kits. Let me just go to my bookmarks because obviously Mohamed Kudus spoke out today, talking about West Ham's targets. It was shared by Hammers Hub, who share like most of the quotes that are done by like the West Ham players or managers or ex-players or pundits that like to chat shit about the club. Will West Ham get European football next season? The aim is to get back into Europe. Mohamed Kudus says there are other objectives too, such as the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, but the main one is to challenge the Big Six and to try and get into Europe. Well, this really should be the general standard of the club, if I'm being completely honest. The reason why I was complaining so much is last season it didn't look like a sustainable team, and a lot of it was running off the first half of the season's form, but not just the style of football. Style of football was obviously a problem, but that was just a bonus due to the aesthetic, of course. But the problem is the style of football wasn't working and wasn't going to allow us to even get into Europe, despite the fact we were still in the battle in the first place. But yeah, this should be the standard. I'm not expecting anything of the first season. The first season's a rebuild the squad from Lopetegui. Lopetegui has kind of inherited a bit of a mess, in my opinion, a little bit of a mess. I'm going to take first seasons into context. I will not be accepting any sort of relegation battle, however, but I'm not expecting Europe first season. I'm not. I'm expecting Europe maybe the next season or the season after, whatever. Yeah, but I don't want to stay out of Europe for long. I'll be honest, but I think it's good that Lopetegui actually gets to work on a team like week in, week out. One game a week with the style of play that he has and with the profile of players that we have already. obviously with Kudus being one of the main guys that is going to be, almost the face of the club. And speaking of Mohamed Kudus, he's in pre-season as well. So him, Mavropanos, again, etc. They are in pre-season. No one really cares about again. I don't give a shit about again. I think he should leave the club. And hopefully one of the Saudi clubs that are interested do come in. Or one of the French clubs that want him back. Hopefully Rennes can take him back. I will literally give him back. But Mavropanos is back in training. Obviously, their international break was slightly shorter than everyone else's because of the whole friendlies that they had. So I didn't know how long of a break they were actually going to have, but they seem to come back into training early. I do think it's also a balance of wanting to impress the new manager as well. George Earthy was on international duty with one of the England youth teams with Kaelan Casey as well. So we're going to have Earthy and Kudus in this preseason. Obviously, Pakistan Bowen will come very late. They probably won't have the preseason. They'll probably be there for the Betway Cup game. I'm going to assume that's going to be the first game they come back. I will be there. I was going to go to the Dagenham and Redbridge friendly, but I am out for my birthday on that day, so I sold the tickets. But I'm actually kind of glad because I wanted to see some Lopetegui ball. But they're also playing in Austria, so all these players that are playing right now that have gone into the preseason and all that, they are in Austria. We're doing a camp in Austria. We're playing some random team. If I can get a stream for that, I will do a watch along. I'll find a way, hopefully, to watch the game because these guys don't like to stream the game. But surely someone has a stream. Surely. Like, it's the same with the Wolves and Palace games in the US. If there's a stream for a game in the US against Wolves and Palace. Like, don't get me wrong, there's no summer series. It's not going to be on Sky Sports or anything. But surely someone's got a link to that. I'll probably try my best to do a watch along with that as well. But the new signings, obviously, forget Fotheringham, but Lewis Guilherme and Max Kilman will be in the preseason as well. It's good that we got actual signings at the start of preseason. Mohamed Kudus, as long as he doesn't get an injury, will have a preseason as well. And yeah, the 24-25 season is well and truly ours from Mohamed Kudus' perspective because, yeah. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. But yeah, Mohamed Kudus, like him having a preseason, as long as he doesn't get injured and he stays fit, he should have a great season anyway. But it's even better. He's going to be integrated within the preseason, within the tactics and all that. Big up Wasim as well. Hey, Mikes, did you see the new squad numbers? Kilman took 26. LG has got 11. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, Guilherme got 11. I'm pretty sure that was announced around the time where he signed. And I just saw the leaked picture of Kilman getting 26. I forgot the 26 was free. Yeah, 24 at Wolves, I think, or 25. 25 at Wolves, but I think someone else already has 25 at the club. I doubt he was going to pick a number two. Number two doesn't really look, good on centre backs and stuff. But I was going to watch a Guilherme comp as well. There hasn't really been much news to do with West Ham. I'll be honest, there's been a very slow news day, but there's been rumours of the fact that the main target positions is obviously a centre back if Aged goes, obviously a striker. A right back is definitely needed. I will not be accepted like a Wan-Bissaka, for example, but a Carl Walker-Peters mainly. Nothing's happened of that yet, but I would like if a Carl Walker-Peters and a striker would soften the blow. Well, not even soften the blow. It'll make me temporarily happy for now. Obviously, the right striker as well, like an actual decent enough striker. Left wing, Damien, I agree. Damien left wing as well. But my thing is Guilherme and Cornet the left wing options? So if we're finding a left wing as well, does that mean Maxwell Cornet is going to leave? Is Guilherme even going to play on the left that much? Inverted left winger desperately needed. Do you know what? I do agree. I would have liked Jaden Philogene at the club. But he seems to be going to Ipswich or Everton or Palace. One of them teams that are actually in for him. But I do agree. But obviously they want a midfielder as well. But that's the thing. This manager must already know that Souček isn't good enough for this club then. Or, depending on the profile midfielder, he knows Flynn Downs is leaving. So, I think they want to keep on to Flynn Downs, not only because of that Alvarez situation, but because it seems Lopetegui might like him. Just because there was already rumours of, Downs and Potts and Earthy getting given a pre-season as a chance at the club. There was already rumours of that anyway. Like by The Athletic. It was reported by The Athletic within May and June and stuff. So, And if we're looking for a midfielder, I'm going to assume it's a number 8. And we kind of do need another number 8, to complement Alvarez as well. I do think Ward-Prowse can play a part, but he can't hold that starting position for the whole season. But then again, as well, we'll have less games as well because we've got 1 game a week this season. It's going to be weird. We're going to play on way more Saturdays. We're going to be on TV a little bit more. Funny enough, we're on a lot more Saturdays anyway. Filigi looks like he's going to Palace now that Elise's gone to Bayern. That makes sense. Obviously, they've got Kamada as well. That would be a good signing for them, which is a shame. Obviously, Jacob Greaves is going to Ipswich due to the fact that we're doing this 1-in, 1-out rule of losing a centre-back to get a centre-back as well. I do think we've missed out, once again, on more Championship talent, as we do every year. I do believe that going to the Championship to get talent is not the sole way of getting players in, but you should always be trying to get the next Championship best. Because I don't think we're going to get Jonathan Rowe from Norwich. So missing out on Jaden Philogene, who is better than Jonathan Rowe, is a gutting miss. We're not going to get Nonto. We're not going to get Sinistera. I don't think playing Cornet left back is going to be a good idea, bro. I have to say, because Cornet's naturally a winger. I think we're going to have a lot of situation what we did with Masuaku, where he was a winger, but we played him at left back. I know Cornet can play left back. I know you can play there, but are we going to get the best out of him? Him playing more in the front three. He's a great striker of the ball, but Guilherme 10 and right wing. Steiner has told Philigine's agents to keep him updated on Ipswich's situation, supposedly. I want to know what source that is as well, because it is what it is. But, if we're looking for a left wing, we should be hijacking that. We should be hijacking that deal straight away. Because I don't know what other left wing options we've got. Like that Sule guy from Juventus that we were interested in is also a left footer who supposedly is better on the right from what people have said. So, again, that doesn't really make any sense to me. Guilherme 10 makes sense. Due to the fact that we're still trying to find a left winger. But I've never watched this Guilherme guy. But speaking of Guilherme, should we watch a comp? Should we watch a comp of Guilherme then? Because I still haven't watched a comp since we've signed him. I'll be real. The stream might lag a bit. I'm trying to load up the internet. Give me a sec. But I'm hoping this plan comes into fruition of whatever we're trying to do this season and the players we're trying to bring in, because there does seem like there is going to be a plan. And obviously, we have a better coach as well than we usually do. So I think even though Lopetegui's inherited a mess, he'll be better at bringing the players together and rebuilding the squad. Guilherme. I'm trying to find a comp. There's a welcome to West Ham comp. Give me a sec. Oh, shit, I didn't even check this. That's the audio from the fucking thing. Cornet lost his explosiveness due to injury, so at least the left back, he can play behind the ball. So it is with a left back playing behind the ball, though. You got to be I feel you got to be able to pass it between the lines and shit. I think if he's lost his explosiveness, I'd rather keep him up the pitch. But then again, Emerson isn't really explosive either. Have you seen the video of them in Austria? I've seen a couple of stuff on Twitter. I haven't seen the proper videos. I'm not sure I'm allowed to share them as well because of copyright. So I don't know what the club is like with that. I'm just trying to get this. I'm trying to share my screen properly as well, so I can get this Guilherme comp up. Just give me a sec. I don't want to play the audio as well because there's going to be copyrighted music. So should we watch the Guilherme comp, guys? Let me know if you want the Guilherme comp. But that's the thing with Cornet. I still think he can play a left wing due to his striking ability. And late arrivals in the box and movement and getting off the shoulder of the defender. I still think he's got enough to run him behind. But we'll see that in pre-season, won't we? We'll see if he's up to the level, whether he's up to the manager's he suits the manager's strategy and the way he plays and shit like that. But I'd like to see him be given a chance, that's for sure, because I feel like we've wasted another player due to, the amount of incompetence our manager has. But we're gonna give this Guilherme comp. I typed in Guilherme. This Guilherme comp a shot. I've never watched a comp of him. I've just seen one goal. That's all I've seen. It's lagging, for God's sake. Give me a sec, guys. Because this guy seems to come off the right quite a lot. Like, even just from there, he's playing off the right, flicking the ball over. I've seen this clip before. And obviously, like, the comp isn't going to tell me how good the player is. I'm just watching the comp to see the type of profile and stuff like that. That's the only reason why I'd watch a comp. I would never watch a comp to see how good a player is. Because obviously, if you're making a comp, obviously, unless it's a fail comp, you're not really going to show the bad bits. But he seems to strike the ball really well, seems to prefer running off the right hand side, playing off the right hand side. The thing is, I'd rather Kudus not play on the left as well. We do have to sign a left winger. Like, if it's gonna be Kudus on the left, I'd rather just sign a left winger. Like, get Kudus down the middle in a 10 or on the right. If it does mean Paquetá has to play deeper or on the bench, then it is what it is. Because I'd say Kudus is more of an important priority and has more potential technically. But he's obviously played off the left before, seemingly so, Guilherme. Obviously running down the left and stuff. That's why we need an inverted winger. I agree with you. I agree with you, Damien. I agree with you. And we do need someone that can cut it off the right. And just like, curl it in from top bins, with like someone that can actually shoot, not like a Said Benrahma that wants to pass to the keeper and shoot over the bar, with all due respect to Benrahma. Unless he can somehow get working with 3 left footers across with behind a striker, but we do need something different. I think this will be a good signing, but that's why I've always said that if we're going to sign a player like this, he's going to be the main man for when Mohamed Kudus leaves, almost. Yeah, we've got loads of cutting from the right. He can play left wing, right wing, and cam. Yeah, he can. That's the thing. His best position probably 10 or right wing as well. Yeah, we've got absolutely loads that could cut from the right. Literally, Bowen Kudus and this guy now. So, yeah, that's why 3 left footers probably isn't the way. Let's be honest. Especially if you've got inverted wingers as well, because his fullbacks like to hug the touchline. And his wingers like to get in pockets and shit. So maybe it's just more suited. That's why the Jaden Philogene signing is just... I wanted that so bad. Because I've actually watched the guy as well. I can actually comment on him because I've actually watched the guy. And I've done a video on this already. Some of you may have watched that with the West Ham need to raid Hull City video. Looks like we're going to get neither player. Yeah, Joe, I've not watched this Wesley guy yet, but if we're obviously still interested in him. So unfinished business in Brazil, maybe. Unfinished business in Brazil. Or Jonathan Rowe, yeah, Damien. I'd like Jonathan Rowe at the club. I do like him. I think as much as I think Philogene is better with the right coaching, Jonathan Rowe will take to West Ham. I've been begging for him or Gabriel Sara to come in from Norwich. Obviously, this depends on the striker as well. Put in the comments what striker you lot want from the club. Obviously, Guilherme can play off the left. Maybe he will play off the left, but if we're still looking for a left winger, there is literally no point. And it also means we might be letting Cornet go, if an offer comes in. But listen, pre-season could determine what positions we will carry on for as well. Yeah, it does depend on budget for striker as well. I do think our biggest budget for each position, where we should put our biggest budget towards is striker. I know we spent big on striker before, unless we find an absolute gem that is good for, that is gonna overdo his price. But I believe we need a proper striker. Just strikers to help Antonio for once. And obviously, as I said, with preseason, you never know who's going to impress. So there might be certain positions that Lopetegui might not care about because he's found a Freddie Potts, a Danny Ings, a Cornet, whatever. That might impress. I don't think even if Ings does impress, we need a striker. I know Ings wants to stay and stuff. Probably thinks under another manager that he can do something. But from my perspective, no. Can't cut corners on centre forward. Moyes knew that. Yep. Obviously, Moyes bragged about in his diary of a CEO. Oh, I missed out on Julian Alvarez. Because I thought Mikel Antonio was doing well. Oh, yeah, great logic, David Moyes. But yeah, a lot of a lot of these clips seem to be him carrying on from the right. There is a lot of him running down the left as well, but he seems to be quite just a versatile player. We seem to sign him because of his versatility and the fact that he can fill in for many squad positions. That's what it seems to be. But we're going to see the plan in preseason. We're going to see it next week. So apparently, the first game of preseason as well is on the 15th of July. Max Kilman is spread out over a 5-year period. We can still spend big in the summer. I reckon if we will get Tony as Spurs don't get him. So apparently, guys, Tottenham are more interested in Calvert-Lewin, which is good for me because I never wanted Calvert-Lewin at this club. The guy's too injury prone. Apparently, Tottenham are more likely to get Calvert-Lewin than Ivan Toney, and apparently a lot of the big clubs have dropped out of the race for Ivan Toney. So the only difficult thing with Ivan Toney will be the wages because of the fact that he's going on a free the next summer. That's the only problem. Now, I think Ivan Toney would take a chance on coming to us. I think he'd prefer to obviously go to the other London clubs. However, I would like Ivan Toney. And the thing is, that as much as ex-West Ham employee said there's a limited budget for each position, what he means by that, guys, we can spend this summer, but we can't spend like 80 million on someone like that. Like each position, he means. Like, so we can still spend big on a striker. It just means we can't do it for every position. It's not that hard to grasp, but people on Twitter didn't seem to grasp that. Any news about Kyle Walker-Peters? Apparently, they can't agree on the price. But when it comes to fullbacks, I'm sure they've got a list, but the main one seems to be Walker-Peters and Wan-Bissaka as a backup. The thing is, as well, with the Walker-Peters stuff, they want Downs and Ings as well, so it makes it more difficult. Scott, a Bolo from Switzerland looks like a real handful. Wouldn't mind us getting him, to be honest. The thing is, I wouldn't sign someone off a tournament. That's my only problem. Like, I don't watch him in club football, so I can't really tell you if he's good enough. But I don't know. Like, listen, if we get him Bolo, I'll back him, but it probably won't be as inspiring as, some of the other targets. Sorloth looks pretty brutal, I can't lie, but would need to be direct to get the most out of him. Yeah, again, I haven't watched Sorloth since he left Palace. And I don't watch Norway. Now, I know we're interested in him because I saw that on westhamway.com, where ex-West Ham employee said that. So, but apparently he's 29, so they might not go for him because he's 29. And because they know Ivan Toney, he's more Premier League proven, and he is similar age, the age doesn't really matter. Because he's Premier League proven, and they've seen more of him. But there's going to be a big striker list. Obviously, the Jonathan David thing looks quite hard for us to do because of the amount of clubs that are interested, and the fact that Canada are still in the Copa America. So I don't think we're going to get Jonathan David. Now, Toney would be the ideal one for me. Yeah, Damien, I agree with the whole tournament thing. That's the thing. Never signed someone on the back of an international tournament. James Rodriguez is a very good example. Like, he's a great player, but Real Madrid signed him off a tournament. Was an Arsham inside of a tournament for Arsenal. Good player, by the way. I don't think they're going to get Solanke, mate. I don't think they're getting Solanke just because Bournemouth are going to charge a lot, and Solanke would want to probably massively upgrade due to the fact that Bournemouth and West Ham finished in similar positions. So he's not going to see that as a massive upgrade in terms of clubs and stuff. Like, if we were in European football, I'd back us to maybe bid for Solanke, but under this regime. But I don't think we're going to go for Solanke, Scott. I'll be honest. So Guilherme can play make as well. He does like to play make. He does like to put balls through if he's going to play in the number 10 position. The thing is as well, we probably don't need someone in the number 10 due to the fact that we've got Kudus, Paquetá and Earthy, but Guilherme might be looked upon better than Earthy is. So I reckon, I do hope Earthy gets a chance, but obviously Earthy will get the chance not for the sake of it, but because he's good enough. And he'll have a preseason again. Apparently, according to some people as well, we're going to loan out a bunch of youngsters. This seems to be the time of the year where we're going to loan out a bunch of players. So we'll see who's going to be ready for the first team and who's not. At this moment in time, obviously there's still time with these youngsters. Like an Ollie Scholes, I reckon will make it at West Ham. Maybe even a Kadoa will make it at West Ham. Maybe even a Callum Marshall, but you never know. He won't be gone this summer. We're only going to sell for a massive price. And Brazil ain't coming back, and there's no Saudi club interested. Oh, sorry, let me present my screen again. But he's not gone this summer. I wouldn't worry about that. But we need to be more worried. Okay, so the comp ended there anyway. So tell me what you think about Guilherme from that comp. But he won't be gone this summer, bro. We don't need to worry about that just yet. We'll have to worry about that if, listen, he doesn't get banned and next season happens. He might have a shit season this season and he might have to stay. But I don't think he will have a shit season if he's not banned. If he's fully fit and not banned, he's gonna have a great season in my opinion, just because of the system. But we don't need to worry about him going. Basically, the whole Flamengo story was from 6 months ago, but the Brazil reports tried to use their power to try and, put it out there that Flamengo are interested. They are still interested, but West Ham have already put out there they're not interested in loaning him out. And unless he goes for a similar price to what we paid for him, we're not going to let him go. And that's the whole reason why we stayed on that 85 million release clause as well. Just so in case someone like Man City would have gone for him if it wasn't for something like the bans, etc. Like, for example, let's say Paquetá has another good season this season, he doesn't get banned, someone will trigger that 85 million release clause. But if he has a shit season and he doesn't get banned, he will stay at the club. If he does get banned, then we're fucked. And then he might go Brazil. But also the ban, by the way, would be worldwide, just like the Tonali stuff. And just like Ivan Toney, like they can't move worldwide, so it wouldn't make it. It's not just a European ban either. So none of the transfer moves would make any sense. And there seems to actually be more confidence in Brazil that he won't get banned than in England. Like the Brazilian manager still thinks that he won't get banned, which is interesting to say the least. But I don't think he'll be gone this summer. But the only thing with him as well is that, similar to Jared Bowen, they're both going to come back around the time we play Celta Vigo. So that will be the game before the season starts. If you remember, the last time we played the Betway Cup was actually the last Euros. So in 2021, that was the last time we played. And if you remember, Rice, Souček, and Soufal played in the Euros. And the first time they came back was the Betway Cup game. So I think it'll be similar. At earliest, they'll come back a week before, which is when we play Palace, I'm pretty sure. But it'll be late August, and they'll come back straight away. We're going to have to be careful with the fitness and stuff like that as well. It's actually kind of a shame that Jared Bowen got called up for England from a selfish point of view. I said this when he got called up. Like, it would have been nice for him to just stick out into the preseason and stuff. But it is what it is. In terms of like West Ham news right now, there is literally fuck all. But what we need to do is get a move on in terms of like targets. But right back, left wing, striker, midfielder, and ideally another centre back if Aged goes. We need a centre back anyway, but for example, guys, let's say Aged for some reason stays and nobody comes in for him, and Zoom is most likely going to stay, even though we want him to go. The main centre back partnership will be Kilman and Mavropanos, which I am not going to complain about. Emerson left back, we need a right back. Soufal may benefit off this system, but the guy is so immobile, so I'm not putting my hat on him too much. Ward-Prowse will be fine, but he needs another number 8 in competition. Paquetá might play there at times, but we need a proper number 8, someone that could complement Alvarez. Alvarez and Downs maybe, if Downs stays. If Downs goes, we need a number 6. In the 10, I'm talking like it's 4-2-3-1, but even in a 4-3-3, people play with a 6, 8, and 10 in a 4-3-3. It's just that it's a bit more fluid. It's like Postecoglou, like how Postecoglou plays in terms of just the midfield. The number 10 will just roam around sort of thing. I might do a little breakdown on it. One of these streams. I might do it tomorrow. But in the 10, we'll probably have a Paquetá, a Kudus, maybe a George Murphy, maybe a Guilherme. On the left, again, maybe a Guilherme, maybe a Cornet, but hopefully a new signing. Up front, hopefully a new striker and Antonio. On the right, it'll be either Bowen, Kudus, Guilherme, etc. That's going to be the squad, and obviously the goalkeepers speak for themselves. And left back, unfortunately, Aaron Cresswell is the backup. But that is what the squad looks like right now. But it does look like we're actually going to be active this window. Now, obviously, with the Kilman signing, is a bit more of a statement that we have some intent to be ambitious. Unlike the previous windows where we waited until August to sign players, none of the players got integrated in pre-season. Some of the signings were so late that Ward-Prowse had played a game in the Championship for Southampton against Sheffield Wednesday, the very first game of the season, where we then signed him a week after, and he didn't even. And then him and Alvarez didn't even make the Bournemouth game. We only decided to be active last August. Like last time we signed someone in July was in 2022, excluding the Max Kilman signing. Like it was very late, and there was a lot of complications just because Steidon and Moyes didn't see alike. The difference is with Lopetegui is they see a line. Now, Damien, I'll be honest, I want Souček gone. Because he like in a possession-based system, he's not going to be able to do anything. Like he won't have the same freedom of getting in the box as he may do. Unless somehow Lopetegui teaches him how to pass 5 yards, I would sell him immediately. There may be games where you might need to play next to Alvarez, but I genuinely, and I'm being serious, like I'd rather play Downs in his position, even though he's a defensive midfielder, than Souček because Downs can retain the ball at least. I can't lie, I don't want to see Souček at all, but he's going to stay. But this is the thing. This is why we need a midfielder, because we need a midfielder to complement Alvarez. I don't think Souček's going to complement Alvarez unless we were playing an old school David Moyes system where it was in 2021. I need to see us benefit from a possession-based team before selling him. I think we will. Obviously, we're not going to know, but I think we will just because of the players we have. I don't think Souček complements the players we have. Like, the reason why I think Ward-Prowse does is because Ward-Prowse have played in possession-based systems before, and Moyes just signed him specifically for set pieces. That's why he shoehorned him off the left and in the number 10, where he doesn't play. The only time Ward-Prowse used to play off the wing was on the right when he first started at Southampton, and he then got moved into midfield because he was a midfielder. That's why I think the Czech boys. Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying in terms of retaining the ball. I don't think. I get Ward-Prowse for 2 weeks. I fully hear that. But that's the thing with this system. He won't be needed as much to put in as many challenges because of the system. The thing is, with Souček and scoring 7 goals in the Premier League, his goals covered up his 90-minute performances. Half the time he was playing like shit, but because of the occasional goal, it would keep him in his side. Like, you're not going to get like really 7 out of 10 performances from Souček, but you will get goals. Occasionally. It won't be. I'm not expecting him to score week in, week out, but I think his skill set is only worth it from somebody who's more of a consistent scorer. But yeah, James Ward-Prowse is too weak. I fully hear that as well. But I don't think he'll be putting in as much challenges and will be needed to be exposed as much because of the system that we play now. But I don't want I need players to step up that I don't like. I need the players that I don't like to just step up rather than us selling them, I guess. But I'll give people a chance under a new manager, but I just don't see it from last season. Moyes said it, 2 sides to football with or without the ball. James Ward-Prowse is useless without the ball. That's the thing. In an attacking side where we're going to press a lot more, you never know. But I do get when the ball is in our side of the pitch and the other team's attacking, Ward-Prowse is too weak. And he's not fast enough either. So I fully hear that. And I know Moyes said there's 2 sides to football, but he only looked at one side of football anyway when he was here. That's my problem. Like, he never switched it up. And it's fine going defensive. I don't mind going defensive. The thing is with this manager, he will go defensive at times. He's not going to attack every game. I'm not expecting to. I don't want him to attack every game. I'm not an attacking football merchant either. I'm just want to get the best out of the players that we have. But the thing is with Lopetegui, he will switch it up into like big games. He'll probably still defend like a lot certain big games, but I want us to give our all, try to give our all every game, no matter what the game plan is. That was another big problem of last season. But as well, what in terms of the positions, guys, as well, What players in the positions that we need do you want in terms of realistic transfer targets? In terms of striker, right back, midfield, let's say number 8 midfielder, another centre back if again goes, and a left winger. What kind of players would you want? Put it in the chat. Because obviously my dream is Ivan Toney up front. That's my dream. I don't think we're gonna get him. Don't get me wrong. But that like it is what it is, sort of thing. Like we need to actually get the striker thing right. Like this summer, I'm sick of seeing strikers go in and out. The system doesn't suit them, or we signed a player that's too shit. We signed a player that doesn't suit the fucking system, or the manager doesn't like them and stuff like that. There's been so many circumstances to do with either the player's just been shit or just an extra circumstance to the matter when it comes to striker. Fofana and Jonathan David / Ivan Toney, that is the dream. Yusuf Fofana obviously would be ideal, like play 6 and 8, from what I know of. And Jonathan David / Ivan Toney. That's the thing. Like, I've heard a lot of good things about Jonathan David. I've never watched him, but I've heard good things. Like everyone that watches that league that I know has told me that he would suit us and stuff like that. But I've never watched him, and it would be sort of a statement signing because we would be fighting off competition to get him, and we've done that before. We have done that before with other players, but it was because that club didn't go in for that player. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Mohamed Kudus. A lot of clubs were interested, like Saudi, even Chelsea were interested as well, and they didn't go in for him. But we went in for him. So we got to take the chance of being the first team to go in for them before it's too late for other clubs because they're focusing on other targets. Obviously, John Duran's on the list. Like, we know John Duran's on the list. We've been interested in John Duran for, nearly 18 months? 18 months, I think. 6 months. Last January. I remember the link from last January, but I think that was also a Jacob Steinberg link, so take that with a pinch of salt. But it was that link to now, sort of thing. So John Duran's going to be on the list. I don't mind him, but it's not ideal. If Ivan Toney's on the list, I'm taking Ivan Toney over John Duran, even though John Duran's very young. Like, there's more potential, but Ivan Toney's ready now. We could get a few years still. I know we've got to look to the future as well, because I'm all for trying to level the age of the squad, because we have an old squad already. So I get why they're trying to sign maybe younger players to balance the age, because we've got the right squad to buy younger players. Not like we've already got young players and we're still buying young players, you know. That would be a problem. Same way last season, we already had older players, so it wouldn't have made sense signing older players, even though Ward-Prowse was 30. I can't say who I want until I know the budget. I hear you. I do hear you. That's the thing, like, we can spend this summer. Obviously, Steiner has said we can spend this summer and stuff like that. And also, even X has said limited budget per position, which means we can't spend 60 million per position. Now, I'm assuming if there's one more position we could splash it on, but not every position. Feel like left wing is the glaring hole still. I fully hear that. Because we just watched that Guilherme come to see what type of player he is. Yes, he'll be running down the outside a lot, but as me and you have both said, Damien, probably need someone that can cut in and be a bit more inverted, get in the pockets and stuff. Because we literally have Corner who's left footed and Guilherme who's left footed. So, again, Jadon Philogene would be the ideal one. But are we I need us just to move. Like, I think we will move, but I'm very impatient when it comes to the transfer window. I will hold off judgment until the end of the transfer window. Then I'm going to give you my full, honest, raw opinion. Like, no matter the hierarchy, as much as I'm a big Steiner guy, and you can even see on the things, Lopetegui Steiner era begins. As much as I'm a big Steiner guy, no matter who's here at the club, you're going to get full accountability from me anyway. So the judgment isn't going to change. Like, if we haven't got a position where we needed players, I'll hold the club accountable no matter what. And it's all, by the way, it's all set up for no excuses as well. For what they've said for each position, that's what they've said. Like, for everything they've said, it's been set up for that. There's no excuses. There's no excuses to not buy players in the positions that we need. Unless the manager thinks there's already players at the club, we don't need the players because these players are good enough for that position. But then again, that would be a hill that the manager will have to die on if that doesn't work out for him. If he thinks Souček, Soufal, let's say Souček, Soufal, Aged, Ings, Cornet, and whatever, are good enough to do their positions, etc., and they don't do well, then that's also on the manager as well for approving that. But it's also on the transfer committee to be like, no, you need a player there, etc. And all that. It's going to be a joint accountability from the technical director to the players, from the owners, whoever. I won't hold back on anyone. I never will, because that's just the way I am. But it's still July, but this is where the part of the transfer window where we get moving. You got to get moving. 8th of July. I think it's fair enough to demand things from your club now. But I do remember last season where I was talking about how annoying it was the fact that we didn't sign anyone in July. I was talking about, oh, calm down, it's only July. Only July in a fucking transfer window. That was the bullshit we got last season. We signed 4 players right at the end. Stupid. And we tried to wait on Harry Maguire for some stupid strategy. It actually does feel like we've got a strategy just because the technical director and the manager can both see the same direction. That is refreshing to see at this club. We've never had that before. Never ever had that before. Never had a proper structure. Never had a proper technical director of football, however you want to call it, where the manager can bounce off them. But that is all probably for now. Unless there's any more topics, guys, that you want me to talk about, I will end it here. Actually, wait, let me get this up. I was going to share my screen. This is about Alexis Garcia from the guy we missed out on. So Toby Cudworth, not reliable for sources, but he's put this quote out. Garcia admits he had an offer from West Ham, but couldn't turn down Bayer Leverkusen. One from West Ham. They were the only ones. I consider that Bayer were the most positive because of the coach and the style of play. Playing the Champions League was a trigger. That's fair enough. That's something we already knew. Strong indication of West Ham's desire and need to strengthen in central midfield. That's the thing as well, because he's that kind of midfielder that's apparently likes to dictate play, etc. I think that's the kind of midfielder they want because of the style. And obviously, Mohamed Kudus, I shared the quote a few days ago, him talking about the fact that Lopetegui wants to play that style. And style is going to be a big thing, yeah, but my thing is just get the best out of the players you got. I am looking to see. I've never really seen aesthetically pleasing football at West Ham apart from the 14-15 season for a little bit, where Allardyce was forced to play possession-based football, so he played the diamond. Other than that, I've not seen good football at the club. Like, I didn't think Pellegrini's football was good football either. I just thought it was slow, sideways, and boring. And we had a lot of lazy players then, which is what Moyes did well to come and change and got the players running and grinded games out. Did that really well and stuff. Even the lockdown season in the 2021 season, where it may not have been possession style of football, but we were moving the ball quick, which is what was very good about, when Souček was getting 10 goals and I think it was 10 goals. Antonio was getting goals. Cresswell and Soufal were just putting crosses for fun. Like, that was fun to watch. I think a proper left winger was all that was missing this summer. We had Lingard. Are you talking about the 2021 season where we got him in January? Because I do agree. Because we played 4 as a Benrahma a lot of the left wing. And even then, to be fair, Bowen wasn't the same player he was. I think we was... Yeah, that season, yeah. Okay. I do agree. We obviously let Diangana and Felipe Anderson go and just got one in terms of Benrahma. Bowen was the same player that he was in terms of the trust, and not only the trust under Moyes, but just in terms of he was still settling in. This was his first full season as well. I remember when Lingard came in, it was either Bowen or Benrahma would play. We rarely got to see both. So it'd be Fornals, Lingard, or either or. Because Bowen in that 21-22 season where he came alive, I believe the game that brought Bowen alive was that 3-2 against Liverpool, where I think he's just gone up from there, in my opinion. Because that was when he started getting England call-ups, and he didn't settle into England well then, but he holds his own now, and people are starting to respect him. And I believe either Kudus or Bowen will get well, not even Kudus. Kudus won't get 20 goals. Bowen will get 20 goals next season if he stays fit. Even if Bowen did nothing all game, I couldn't criticize him because he didn't stop working. That's the thing with Bowen. What he's improved with as well was work rate. Because even when with the whole tracking back stuff, that's something that used to annoy me a little bit when we used to play a bit deeper and stuff like that. There's the tracking back. But Bowen, season upon season, has even worked on that. He knows, like, I'm one of the main men at West Ham. I'm setting an example at West Ham. I'm going to always set an example at West Ham, which I get why people would make him captain because of that. But I don't see Bowen as a captain in terms of a leader. I don't also believe in giving Max Kilman the captain's armband either. Same reason why I wouldn't have given Harry Maguire the captain if Moyes was going to get him in terms of new signings, getting a new captain's armband straight away, because there's already a hierarchy in every club. So if you bring in a new signing and then give them the captain, it's a bit of a backhand to the whole dressing room. Then again, they might not believe that the dressing room has enough leaders, and I do get that, but there is enough senior players there to give someone the captain. Now, Alvarez has only been here a year, but I believe Alvarez should get it if it was up to me. But then again, we don't really have anyone else really, so I won't be annoyed if Kilman or Bowen get the captain's armband. But Bowen, under a system where he's going to play cutting in a lot, right wing, and having more freedom, this could be a magnificent season we see from Bowen. I'm expecting the best season I've seen from Bowen. And that's saying a lot because it's Jared Bowen we're talking about. He's had 3 good seasons. Like, even when we were shit, like, he still would turn up a little bit. Like, I would say the 22-23 season, I wouldn't say anyone was good apart from Ben Rama in the first half of the season, and then Rice in the second half of the season with Ben Rama. But Bowen did turn up even in the back end of that, when we needed to get out of relegation, or when we needed to get over the line in the Conference League. And obviously he scored the goal in the final. Bowen in big games is cash money. Like, we've got big game players. Like, I get onto Souček a lot. I don't want him at the club, but Souček is a big game player. Sufar's a big game player. Emerson has made himself a big game player. Paquetá, even in the final, has proved himself to be a big game player when he wants to be. We need to put him in more big games to show that. Even the Tottenham away was good. Chelsea at home last season when we had 10 men. Antonio, London Derby king. Hi, Max. Jacob Greaves and Philogene for 35 million for the pair. Feels like a missed opportunity for the price. Big up, Jay Woods. I do agree with you, mate, because obviously I made a video on this talking about Greaves and Philogene, and I feel like missing out on both of them is going to be it's going to suck, man. It's going to suck, man. Like Greaves to Ipswich is such a smart signing. I think Ipswich and Southampton are staying up next season, by the way, not only because of pure smart business, but because of the cohesiveness. Yeah, if you're confident again in leaving us food and drink for us, like, that's the thing. I reckon if Ged left by now, we would have got him. But I get why the club are doing it. I get why we've missed out on Jacob Greaves specifically. But the Jaden Philogene one is a little bit more annoying because we probably have less of a space in a left wing option, just because there's a question mark on the Guilherme situation, as we talked about earlier, and Maxwell Cornet at left wing as well. Listen, we've got big game players. And I believe winning this new system, you're going to get more out of the players that are already good. And we saw glimpses and moments of what Paquetá, Kudus, and Bowen could do. And in a more cohesive system, in my opinion, where it gives more freedom for the attackers, they're going to go up a level, especially Kudus and Bowen. There's a question mark with Paquetá, and I understand why there is. But Kudus and Bowen, for me, I'm excited to watch Mohamed Kudus. I'm excited to watch Jared Bowen next season. But we need a striker and left winger to help them out. It can't be all on them. Worth 25 minimum. That's the thing. Like, just because of the contract as well. He's got a few years on his contract. So that could bump up the price. The thing is, if Saudi come in as well, we're more likely to sell him. What is interesting, actually, I'm going to put this out there. Al Ittihad. Look out for Al Ittihad, maybe. And this is, I'm not an ITK. I'm just guessing. Al Ittihad were meant to get that Theate guy, but because of the whole presidential change that happened, the deal broke down with Theate and Pioli. Theate is a left-footed centre-back. Could play left-back as well. maybe they might go for a Ged. By the way, that Theate guy was who we had in the shortlist when we got a Ged. We had him in the shortlist, but Ren got him to replace a Ged. So it's funny how it all goes back around. That's a backup centre back, left back, and left winger for us. Yeah. Precisely, bro. Like, if Emerson wasn't fit and Jacob Greaves and Cresswell are there, I'm playing Jacob Greaves just because of the, like, Lopetegui can switch up the system a bit and just have him as a centre back that's playing left back that can just receive the ball as a 3 in possession and stuff like that and all that nerdy stuff, and just let Sufa bomb on. Joe, I've heard the name. I don't know how he plays. I don't know how he plays. Joe, let me look him up. I'm gonna do some research now. Because I've seen this name plenty of times, but I've never watched him. Never ever watched him. Player profile. Oh, this guy's a left back. He's a left back, right? Set to continue. I'm on transfer market now. He's left footed. That's the thing. If we didn't sign Cresswell to a contract, he would probably be on a shortlist, no? I assume. But we're probably going to miss out on him due to the fact that we wanted to take the cheap option instead. I get we wanted other positions as well, but come on, man. Let's be serious. Cresswell's like 35. In a more system where we're going to play higher up the pitch, we're going to play higher up the pitch next season with Aaron Cresswell if Emerson is injured. Let's be serious. Unless you're going to play 3 at the back and then put Corner in wing back or some shit. Because Lopetegui switched up to 3 at the back before, but I think that was mainly because, like, Wolves were in a relegation battle and he was trying to get them out of relegation and stuff like that, so he switched up the system slightly. But I want to see what his principles are. I want him to stick to his principles. We kind of have a Ten Hag situation as well where, Eric Ten Hag came in, everyone thought he was going to play the Ajax style of player, then after 2 games he was like, nah, fuck that, I don't have the players. And then even last season he even said, I can't coach the way I did at Ajax because of the players that I have. But you literally chose the players. So Ten Hag, by the way, Man United are going to be a fucking mess next season. You're about to see that. Like, whether they sign De Ligt and Xerxes or whatever, yeah, they're about to have an absolute mess of a season. De Ligt as your Varane replacement is a fucking howler, to say the least. So I wouldn't worry about Man United too much. The thing is, I would like to be in the race for Europe next season, but I can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee that we won't be either, because, listen, new manager doesn't mean that we're going to need to take time either, but I'm just looking at the state of the squad and thinking I'm not really expecting too much. I'm not really expecting too much first season. I'm looking to see almost just integrating players in, getting your principles in control, and getting players used to how you want to play. But other than that, I'm not really looking at it as like we have to finish top 7. We don't. What I will like, if Lopetegui's a long-term manager as well, of course, I hope so anyway, go for the cups as well. I would like to see a cup run, a proper cup run where we don't embarrass ourselves. Ten Hag got caught out, not realising the difference in quality between the Premier League and Eredivisie. Well, yeah, that you're right. And that's why a lot of the managers suffer from that league. Kudus looked sharp in the training video the club uploaded. I like him. I've watched him in like 3 or 4 youth games live. So like I was actually saying like one on like TV, like through the YouTube channel where they stream it. And I'd say I've watched him 3 times in real life. And he looks like one of the best players on the pitch most of the time. So what was really good, especially in the Youth Cup final, if you guys went, if some of you might have even seen the Youth Cup final live or was at the game like me, privileged to be there. Marshall, Mubama, and Kadoa, they would rotate as a front 3. Obviously, Mubama's gone now. But sometimes you would see Mubama on a wing slightly, with Kadoa bouncing off him, with Marshall bouncing off him. Kadoa can play across the front 4 positions. He can play the 10 of the wings and up front as a false 9. And he just looks like a pure footballer. Now, I have a feeling now, a lot of people are talking about Earthy, a lot of people talk about Skulls, a lot of people are talking about Freddie Potts. But the Lewis Orfords, the Patrick Kellys, the Kadoa. Bro. Like, we've got some good players in the youth. I watched it on YouTube. The atmosphere looked unreal at the game. Yeah, we took over the atmosphere. We took over the Emirates, as we always do in terms of atmosphere. Because Arsenal, they were just banging the fucking drum, and it was so annoying. Kadura looks quality. He's a mobile 10. A lot of people aren't. I know Kadura. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, but a lot of people don't talk about him. Like, a lot of people don't talk about it. And he's going to take his leadership skills from the youth to go into the first team if he makes it. I think he's going to go on loan to the Championship, though, because he went on loan to Wickham with Freddie Potts throughout January. He's either going to get another League One loan or maybe a Championship loan. I would like to see if we can... what personally, Damien, well, like in real life, or just like know of him and just talk about him. But I like him as well. I like him. Patrick Kelly, Lewis Orford as well in midfield. I think Casey's a good player, but I think Casey needs to bulk up a bit as a centre back. He looks a bit too slim to be a centre back. Oh, personally, really? Same as Divine. Same as Divin. Oh, fair enough, man. Fair enough, man. I hope Kudus makes it. I hope Mubama has a good career beyond West Ham. By the way, like, I wanted him to stay. But yeah, I played with the coach who spoke in that Kudus video. Has the video been? Oh wait, the Kudus like mini documentary video. Was it that video? I still need to watch that. Obviously I've not watched any of the training videos. The thing is, I would love to react to it on here, but we're not on Twitch, so I don't think I can react to any of the videos that the West Ham lot of uploaded. Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, that's sick. That's sick. Do I risk it and react to something? I'm not going to risk it. I'm not. I can't, in case I get a copyright strike. But I'm going to watch a bunch of the videos. I still haven't watched the Max Kilman interview of Anton Ferdinand. I still need to watch that. He was a sick left centre back, better than again. It's not hard, mate. It's not hard. It's not hard to be better than again. But obviously, Lopetegui had his first session. He looks to be very happy with Danny Ings in that thumbnail. Apparently, Lopetegui said before he liked Danny Ings in the past. But if we're comparing to the strikers he typically likes, like the Antonios and the Eder series, will he like Danny Ings? Not too sure. Even if he does, we still need a striker. Man. All right. Unless there's any other things you want me to talk about, that should be it. I'm pretty sure. Let me just check real quick if there's any news I missed out on. No notifications come up on my phone. Apparently, Mubama is linked to Sheffield Wednesday. Thoughts on Sorloth? Not watched him since he left Palace. Like 35 million on the 29-year-old striker might be a risk, though. Then again, 35 million nowadays is not that much, but 35 million for West Ham to spend on a striker is still... That's more than Skamaka, technically, because we didn't trigger the add-ons. So he has to be better than that. Apparently he had a good season last season, but it's what do we think the investment's worth for the age that we're getting and the potential that we're getting. Listen, I back him regardless because I've not watched him, so it's like a blank canvas to me. Thank you, Woods. Thank you, Woods. I'm gonna end it there, just because there's nothing else to talk about, and we've gone for nearly an hour. Like, I'm trying my best to do longer streams. I think about we've gone 59 minutes, by talking about pretty much mainly not even news, but mainly just looking at scenarios at the club. So when there is news, there's going to be longer streams. I'll stream as long as I can for whatever I can talk about, and for as long as you guys are here. Thank you, Damien. Thank you, Woods. Big up everyone that's jumped in. Big up Wasim as well, becoming a regular on the channel. Scott, who's a regular. All of you guys I pretty much see all the time now on the channel. So thank you very much for jumping in. I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. We want to rise to 500 subscribers. Thank you for 350. And depending on the news, I might be doing a stream or a video tomorrow. I'm trying to do a video or stream every day. So thank you guys for watching.